What's going on, guys? I'm Stock Sniper Mike, and I'm back again with another Weekly Watchers video. For those of you guys that don't know what the Weekly Watchers is, it's a watch list we create every single Sunday evening with a list of stocks we think have the most potential to make us money on the upcoming week. Now, when we create this list, we don't say just go and buy every single one of them. All of them do have a plan, and you want to stick to the sniper plan. That's the biggest thing about this watch list. But for those of you guys that don't know where to find the watch list, you could find it on our website at www.thestocksnipers.com, or you could find it on Google Play or the App Store on our brand new app under Stock Snipers. And that's where I'm going to take you guys today. So after a great weekend that we just had, went to a wedding, then also got to go to a bachelor party on the boat on Sunday. Now we get to start Money Monday off with actually a bag right from this watch list. And that's why it pays to be prepared. So let's jump in and let's show you how we did it. So make sure you download the app. Once you have it downloaded, you'll click into it to log in. And once you click in, you want to make sure you log in there. So sign in with your credentials. And once you get in, you get to the all page. That's a list of everything that we have there from every watch list we create AM and PM daily, as well as our chat room with tons of different traders, all from millionaire traders all the way down to beginners. And look at that. That's exactly from our weekly watchers. We have our buy alert and sell alert coming right from that spot in about a 30-minute range. So it's really nice to be able to make a nice 35% from that watch list right here in the chat room. And then to top it all off, we have Sniper U, and that's a course with everything we believe you need to know to profit in the stock market. But where we're going to talk about today is the weekly watch list. So we'll go to that watch list tab and we'll click on that top tab. The top tab is the weekly watchers. Now you're going to have the list of stocks that we're watching for the week and then the sniper pattern right next to them. So we'll go over them from top to bottom here. And we always like to start with OTC stocks because that's what the sniper's bread and butter are. We've made most of our profit off of OTC stocks, but we have been diving into options lately and listed low float stocks. So be on the lookout for those on the watch list as well, but we always are going to start off with some OTC stocks. So let's dive in here. Before we do dive in, we always like to highlight what's going on with the week. Having a hot sector is very important, and that's a great way to take advantage of. Just like last week, we made almost $1,500 plus off the oil sector when it was hot. So let's see what's hot this week. Last week, the market was crazy. It finally got that bounce that we were looking for in a long time. It's been getting dragged down for 2 months now. Pretty much since the year started, it's been getting dragged down. And then the war started, inflation happened, we raised the rates. All of that made the market tumble down, but we finally got that bounce green week last week. It had 4 straight green days. That usually doesn't happen. I always say after 3 green days, the odds are against your favor, and now this is on 4. So coming up next week, we're going to actually be looking into puts on the longer listed stocks and then shorts for some of these overextended stocks that ran a little bit too much last week. So let's dive in here to talk about some of the options that we got. Start off with an OTC stock. Just like we said, we're not going to lie. We'll start off with the bread and butter, and this is a Bitcoin related stock because we do believe that when the market does rally, Bitcoin's able to rally as well with it. Bitcoin's now above 40,000 and Ethereum got back above 2,900, and those are the sector leaders. If this can push a little more, Bitcoin maybe above 45 and Ethereum above 3K, we can see some nice sector momentum, and these 3 stocks will be the ones that we'll be looking for if that happens. The first one is OTC Bitcoin related stock Humble, and that's a penny stock that we've been watching for a while now. It's been drifting down for 6 months, and now it's trading in a range between 12 cents and 18 cents. It ended the week with a pretty strong close there in a first green day, so we'll see if it's going to be able to get back above 15 cents. 15 cents was a key spot for Humble that it had a very hard time with. So if it can't get back above that, we're going to not be looking at it, but we'll be watching Humble next week. This next one is an OTC Bitcoin related stock as well, and this usually gets volume when Bitcoin starts to heat up. So right now, not too much going on here, but if Bitcoin does heat up, we almost can bet you'll see some volume come in here on DMGGF. Now, what we like here about DMGGF is it's coming down to its long-term support of 44 cents. Even though it's a light volume stock, it's held that 44-cent spot. So if it does get volume and then we do see the first green day with Bitcoin getting hot, we're going to be looking to play this first green day. As you can see, it does have nice follow-up green days in the past. This next one we're going to go over is another OTC Bitcoin related stock. This is OTC penny stock BBKCF, another one that runs really nicely when Bitcoin's able to run. As you can see right there in its past history, recently it just ran all the way past $1. Now it's came all the way back down to the 60s. We're looking for it to get back above 67 cents, but with volume. It needs to have volume for us to buy into these stocks. So if it does get a push above 67 and then holds with over 200,000 or more in dollar volume, we're going to be looking to get it into BBKCF. This next one is one that got overextended with the market like we were just talking about. This is one of those Asian related stocks that got completely trashed when everything that was going on with Russia and Ukraine, and then China saying that they might take Russia's side. Well, they are. And then now they're saying that they're going to be compliant with the stock market and the U.S. stocks that are over here. There was a lot of confusion that was going on over there in Hong Kong, and it made the Hong Kong stock market crash. Then out of nowhere last week, the Hong Kong stock market had the best day it's ever had in history. That's usually what happens when things crash. They get nice bounces, and that's what happened in Hong Kong, and that raised almost every Asian stock in the U.S. stock market. Also, the Dow Jones and the overall market bounced that day as well to help everything out, but LCYN was one of those stocks that got a very nice bounce. We actually had it on the weekly watchers last week, so for those of you guys that want to watch last week's video, LCYN is on there, and it went up 40% from this watch list. And we do think that this thing is going to fall very soon. So be on the lookout for that first red day short. It went from $5 all the way now past $10.75 or $10.70 area. We're going to be looking to short it when it comes down and cracks back below $10 and creates a first red day. So be on the lookout for when that day happens, because it's definitely going to happen sometime next week. This next one is an OTC sub-penny stock that's been slowly drifting up the past 3 weeks, and it looks like it's coming back up to a multi-month resistance spot. Last week it actually did break a multi-month resistance spot of 0052, and that's a key spot that we want to see it hold to start this week. If it falls back below that, we're not going to really be too interested until it comes back above that spot, because if it does, the next resistance level is 0075, and we think this thing could possibly get some nice legs if it's able to get the volume and the multi-month breakout. This next one is an interesting one because, as everyone knows, war is going on with Russia and Ukraine, and Russia actually had to shut down their stock market. So Russia decided to shut down their stock market 3 weeks ago because everything was crashing. Their dollar, their ruble, or however you pronounce it, was crashing at the time. It was worth pretty much a penny. It was worth nothing. $1 was worth a penny. So they closed down the stock market. That's usually what happens when things are getting crazy. They're going to open it back up this week. And there are some Russian-related stocks that are on the listed U.S. stock exchange as well as OTC U.S. stock exchange that are going to now start trading again. So they got halted as well. Now they're going to be trading again. And one of the stocks we're going to be watching, because it's an OTC stock that used to be a listed stock, is SBRCY. This is the Russian bank. So we got a nice big Russian bank, like a legit stock that literally dropped from the 14s all the way down to 40 cents. So really, really big drop. And then you saw what happened with LCYN. Big bounces happen. We do see a big bounce happening here. It might not be as big as that one, but this drop was huge, and it definitely is in tune for a bounce. So be on the lookout for that bounce coming soon here. And the last two we're going to talk about are listed stocks, because we've been eyeing down these things since last weekly. We had the options for calls. Now we're going to have the options for puts, because they had 4 straight green days last week. They did exactly what we were looking for. Now, after 4 straight green days, the odds are against their favor. We think they might be able to go one more day, but if not, we think their puts are actually going to be due on Monday or Tuesday on one of these two stocks. The first one we'll go over is the larger listed Asian related stock, BABA. Another one that we were talking about that got a really, really nice big spike with the market over there in Hong Kong. Now with that spike, it's got to cool off. $110 is a key resistance spot that it hasn't really came back to in a while, and it just jumped back there on Friday. We'll see if it could stay below that, and if it does, we're going to be looking to take the put contracts for this Friday or next Friday, looking for either $95 strike price or $100 strike price. So be on the lookout for that put coming in Baba soon. And the next one is a great one because the members that have already been in on Money Monday and that were live in the chat room were actually able to profit off of this with us. We actually put in the call alert and sell alert for this. This is a Facebook put option. We actually really do like the fact that Facebook got that bounce. Last week we were looking for the bounce. It got the bounce, but the bounce was way more than we thought, going from $186 to $216. So about $30 bounce in a higher price stock like this. Usually they do tend to come down after big bounces like that, especially after 4 straight green days. So Money Monday, we were looking for that first red day to take advantage of. We weren't able to take advantage of it on the first big jump when it panicked in the morning, but then it bounced midday, and that's when we looked at the watch list. We took advantage of it, and we actually decided to snipe the option with the $200 strike price, the put option for this week's expiration. Very volatile, but we do like the volatility, and we bought it at 78 cents. The thing ended up shooting all the way up past $1, where we were able to sell over 35% of our profit, making just about $270 there. And then it was able to continuing to push all the way up into the 130. So if you wanted to stay a little more patient, you could have made a little more there, almost 100% on your money. But that's the beauty about these options. We did get a bounce, so we will still be watching for Facebook to create that first red day and then possibly get the put in the upcoming week. Alright guys, well that is the weekly watchers here. This week, we were already able to take advantage of something in the watch list, making 35% on it. Last week, we had the 50% mover in LCYN. Who knows what we're going to find this week. Hopefully, you guys are able to profit off of one of these with us. I'll see you back here next week for another weekly watchers. Stock Sniper Mike, out.